Let's dive into our bullet journal setup for 2026. Are you ready for the fresh start and setting up a new bullet journal for the upcoming new year? Let's grab our journals and our favorite beverage of choice. Mine has to be a good cup of coffee. And let's dive into this creative session. Let's get caffeinated while we create. If you want to see me customize this journal and a closer look at the bullet journal I picked again for the upcoming new year, which is the 120 gram paper edition of the Leuchturm 1917 journal. I will leave a link to the unboxing and customization video in the description down below. So now let's start with a little collage for the title page of 2026, and I did print the collage out in 2 different sizes because I wasn't sure what to use, but the big one turned out a bit too big and the small one was a bit too small for my liking. So I decided to just cut both collages up a bit and kind of make a collage out of the collages and improvise a cohesive title page for 2026. I'm just arranging a bit the pieces so that I can cover up the little book belongs to in the front of the journal. I just love to make a yearly little collage for that in my bullet journals. So now just adding some old book pages for the vibes, and I got this beautiful washi tape that looks like analog film. And I decided to also add that to the mix because I just love film photography and everything vintage in a way. How are you guys all doing? Are you ready to set up your 2026 bullet journal? I'm really excited for the fresh start, but also I feel like, where has this year gone by? How does this year feel like it did start yesterday? I don't know. I feel like it was just a few weeks ago that I started my 2025 bullet journal. I don't know. But I also feel like that I say in every single setup video for my bullet journal. So maybe that's just the theme of life. So here I'm just covering up the infos for the journal. I know what journals it is. I don't need those informations. So I just decided to make a little book page and pressed flower sticker thing on the side to make it aesthetic and match the vibes of the collage on the other side. Are you ready for 2026? Do you plan on setting up your bullet journal as well? Or do you do that later in the year? I know a few people who just set up their bullet journal in December at the end after having the busy Christmas things over with, but for me I always kind of need that part out of the way, ready to go and done before the busier holiday season comes around. And I feel like it's always better for all of you guys to see my setup as inspiration earlier in the year. Kind of the middle of November is always my plan when I start to think about my bullet journal and the new journal for 2026. Are you already setting up your bullet journal now, or are you still collecting some ideas and inspiration? Or do you plan on using a different planner system for 2026? Let me know in the comments down below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Our first spread for 2026 is done, so let's flip over to the mighty tables of contents page. And this is another one that I don't really use in my bullet journal. I love to use those pages in a different journal, but not in this kind of bullet journal. I don't need it. So that's why I always decide that's my year at a glance page, and I will be gluing down my year at a glance overview here. If you want to get yourself any of the printables I used in this bullet journal setup, they will be up in my shop very soon. I will leave a link to everything in the description down below. I did make the typical yearly overview for 2026, as well as the different versions I did the years before, like an illustrated version and a more minimalistic version without the paint splatters. So there is hopefully something for your liking. They will be up later this weekend as well. And I also will put up my new 2026 calendar sticker set. Keep an eye out in the description down below for all the fun little bullet journal things you can get to make your life and setup of your bullet journal way easier by just using some of the printables and stickers I created for all of us. Here I decided to create a kind of quarterly goals page for 2026, so that I feel like I always include one big page of goals at the beginning of the year, but then I rarely go back to them because a year is a long time to set some goals in a way to make them really concrete and actionable. So I really wanted to try for this year to set quarterly specific goals to see if I maybe accomplish more in that way. And on to the next spread it goes. For this one, we will need one of my habit trackers. Those will also be part of the bullet journal and planner setup printable. And this year I did give them a little update because I included like the 10th of the month and the 20th of the month with a little number in the box so that you don't have to count them out. And I felt like this year's over. I didn't reuse my trackers as much as I wanted to because it was such a pain to always figure out which box belongs to which day. And so I hope the little reminder where the 10th of the month and the 20th of the month will help us all out with that problem. And for my first habit tracker, I want to track my Instagram posts. I did decide to include stories as well as posts, but I really want to also just keep up the game in 2026 and maybe also get a bit more up to Instagram. I feel like in this year I did do a bit of a focus on YouTube Shorts, and I love that as well. And I will do a YouTube Shorts tracker as well to see how much I will be able to post in 2026 there. But I feel like I also want to just get a bit more back into my Instagram game as well. And hopefully this habit tracker page as well as the ideas spread I create here will help me with that. We will see how it goes. Hopefully better than this year. I'm still a bit divided if I just put too much on my plate of daily tracking, and that was the reason I didn't kind of pull through in 2025, or if it just was I got distracted with different projects or things. I don't know. We will see. I don't know. I love the idea of having a filled out tracker from one year. That's why I really want to just include those again, even if I might end up not using them as much, or maybe I have to start including like little monthly trackers into my monthly spreads, and then I go back to the yearly page and just fill them out, because I feel like a lot of the empty boxes aren't just only because I didn't post something, it's also I didn't fill out the tracker. So I might even slack more in filling out the tracker than I do slack in posting daily on Instagram. I didn't post daily, I know that, but for the other parts I really know, like my YouTube Shorts tracker in 2025, I always, like, I don't know, once a month or every 2 months I did go back in there and take the YouTube Studio app and fill out the little tracker boxes when I did post something. So it might be the filling out the tracker part that is the problem for me. But speaking of YouTube Shorts and YouTube, now let's get on to 2 of my YouTube planner spreads for the upcoming new year. I always like to do some content creation spreads in the beginning of the year, as well as some of the, I don't know, life tracking things. It's just a mixture, I guess, of different metrics I want to have in the beginning of my bullet journal to look back on, to collect ideas and so on and so forth. This spread is the YouTube ideas spread, as well as my YouTube milestones for 2026. So it's kind of helpful for me to have one page in the front of my journal dedicated to collecting ideas, so that I don't have to search around for the place where I noted down some ideas throughout the year, because I know all ideas go in the front. And then on the different spreads, if there are YouTube ideas or if they are Instagram ideas or different kind of things. And besides the ideas spread, which is just a lot of empty space to note down things, I always decide to do kind of a metric spread where I track the milestones I hopefully will accomplish in 2026. And I'm really excited to see if we can maybe crack the 5,000 subscribers before the new year. So if you want to join me on this creative adventure and many more creative adventures to come, hit the subscribe button down below and join us on our little creative corner of the internet. I would absolutely love to have you here, and I would absolutely love to start in the new year with 5k subs on YouTube. So we will see if we get there. Besides the little milestone play buttons that I can color in throughout the years when we reach a milestone, I always like to track like monthly stats of watch time, views, and so on and so forth, as well as at the bottom I make like a few years back how much views I got, how much watch time I got, and so on, to kind of see how the channel is growing over time. I feel like that's a really good visual representation of how the continuous effort you kind of put into the content and the learning to do things and trying to get better at what you do kind of pays off. And it's a visual reminder of how you're growing and accomplishing and getting better at this is. So I really like to remind myself of that throughout the year, so that I did include my numbers from 2021 to 2025. There are obviously older numbers from 2020 and 2019, but I feel like 5 years is a good overview to have on such a spread. Now on to the daily tracker part of YouTube, which will be my yearly YouTube Shorts tracker. And we will see if we get to 365 YouTube Shorts in 2026. I didn't quite manage it in 2025, but I just want to try to do as much as possible without making slop content, in a way. I hope it makes sense. Just also using YouTube Shorts a bit of a more relaxed way to just give you a little insight on my life. And besides the habit tracker, I will make a designated kind of YouTube Shorts ideas spread, because I feel like if I want to come up with enough ideas for 365 days, it could be good to have a separate ideas spread for YouTube Shorts and the other one for the long form content for 2026 on the spread we did set up before. And as well, here's just the ideas spread are mainly focused on leaving enough room for brain dumping and planning, so it's a pretty empty spread, just some few decorations. But I feel like your bullet journal has to also be functional. I love the aesthetic point of it, and that's the whole part why I use a bullet journal and not just a regular planner, because I want it to be aesthetic and have kind of my own personal aesthetic vibes, but also it has to work for me, and that's why I like to do some spreads super simple with the decorations. Now we do a more personal 2026 spread, which is my highlights of the year. And I started this spread last year or this year. Oh, I don't know. I have to look in my bullet journal. But I really been loving this spread this year, and it's kind of like a collection point where I write down my highlights of the year, not only at the end of 2026, but throughout the year. And I feel like it helps so much more to also appreciate the little highlights of everyday life that you might not remember at the end when you look back on the whole year, but when you have them already on paper because you noted them down throughout the year when they were happening, then you don't lose those little highlights in a way. And I feel like they are such a big, important, positive part of life that it really helped me to collect those on a more monthly or everyday kind of basis. So that's why I decided to dedicate one complete page to the highlights for 2026. And here I also do a little part that I did start last year as well, which is kind of I don't know, 5-star rating system for the months, just to have a little check-in with myself at the end of each month and to write down something that was good, something that maybe wasn't, and just to have a little reminder what was going on throughout the year, besides the big milestones that you will remember from now on till the end of time in a way. So that's what those two spreads are for. And besides the little 5-star rating and some space for notes, I also included a section that will be new for 2026, which is mini adventures, I called that. And I really want to see if I can kind of challenge myself to come up with one little mini adventure each month for 2026, because I feel like, especially in adult life, when you are so focused on productivity all the time with this world we're living in that is kind of pushing you to be super productive. Then you have to take care of your health, have to go to the gym, meet up with friends and everything so on. It becomes such a, I don't know, day-to-day, I don't know, I don't want to call it a treadmill, it sounds so negative, but yeah, I don't know, it becomes repetitive in a way, and I really want to focus on the little mundane everyday things that make life beautiful, or just to switch things up once a month for 2026 and go just on a little mini adventure. I don't quite know yet what that could be. In a way, maybe that will help to explain it. But I just have to see what I can come up with. Maybe a little trip, or I don't know, exploring a museum, or doing something in the city that you always lived in, like you would do when you are on holidays as a tourist. Yeah, it could be, or doing a project that you always wanted to do, or try a new medium of art, or whatever is something that you always had on mind and then pushed back. That's, I don't know, what I want to do with the mini adventure idea. And we will see how it goes throughout 2026 and where it will lead me. And I maybe will catch you up on the monthly basis when we will set up for the new months. Here I'm setting up my tracker for being active and training and so on, and I really want to get back into better shape for 2026 as well, so I really wanted to include that tracker again. And here as well, I kind of have to figure out a way to track more on a daily basis, because I feel like it's the biggest struggle for me is filling out the tracker than doing the task in a way. But we will see. I just have to figure out a system for myself. This one's was super simple to set up because I had the collage made digital on my Procreate app, and then I'd also have the kind of yearly habit tracker ready to go as well. Here I also have the numbers included to have it hopefully easier to fill out those trackers throughout the year. Now let's flip over and go to the final tracker for this year, which is the meditation. As you see here, I didn't fill out this tracker in 2025 at all, but I really wanted to include it again, and hopefully I will do a better job in 2026 filling out the trackers. And here you see me messing up writing Instagram on the top, but I did figure it out and cover it up with some book pages and just write meditation on top. That's also the fun of bullet journaling, and I feel like always people who just watch those perfect videos where every mistake is cut out always have the wrong idea about that, because they feel like they have to do everything perfect in their bullet journal. No, it's your journal, it's handmade, it's personal, you can do whatever you like, and it's completely normal and alright. If you mess up, you can find a way to fix it, or you can just scribble it out. It doesn't have to look a specific way if that's not what you like, or that's not what serves you the best. Make it your own. Do whatever works for you. That's also, and you can do everything with a bullet journal. There's so many possibilities to make it, and because of that, it's the only reason why I did or do stick with my bullet journal for now 8 years, which is crazy. I've been bullet journaling so long, but it's always a changing system. Maybe I'm currently working on a bit of a bullet journal introductory video that will be coming soon. I thought it might be helpful if somebody who hasn't bullet journaled yet wants to start for 2026. So if it is out, I will leave a link in the description down below as well. But I would highly encourage everyone to just go with the flow, go with what works for yourself, try something out. You can also set up a spread, try it for a while, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. For me, it was with the trackers. I realized I needed some numbers in them, and so we do it with that for this year, and maybe in the end I will figure out that I need every little number in every little box to make it functional for me. Then we will do that the next way around. So just wanted to encourage everyone to not get too worked up because you feel like your bullet journal has to be perfect from the get-go. But now let's just talk a bit about the spread I'm setting up here, which is the 101 Things for 2026 spread. This is a spread I saw last year at a fellow YouTuber's setup video. I will leave a link to her channel if I remember. Jean Chi? I don't know. I have to look it up. But I thought that was such a fun idea, and it's not a list you have to complete throughout the year. It's just something where you can write down a task that is not specific to a month or a quarter or anything, and just something you really want to do, or you want to try, or you want to do someday. You can just write it down, and whenever you have kind of energy and time to do something and you don't know what, you can flip to the list instead of kind of doom scrolling. For me, it's always, I don't know, those screens tend to suck us in so much, so it really helped me to have this kind of list to go off of, things to do and try out. And I really want to use this list even more in 2026, and maybe I'll also use that as part of the collecting ideas for my mini adventures for each month. Maybe, we will see. We are kind of done with the more fun, functional part of the bullet journal setup for 2026. Now comes the super functional and very important but very tedious part of the New Year's bullet journal setup. I love it and I dread it at the same time. It's the yearly overview, or half a year on a double spread for me. Always for the year that's coming up and the year after that, written out every single day of the year so that I can plan in advance. Yeah, like I've already said, it's always kind of, my wrist is screaming at some point because it's such a tedious part, but it's also such a necessary part of a good planner to have the space to plan in advance and write down dates and appointments and everything So I need those spreads, but I always do not love them to set up, to be honest. But I don't know, I like this layout, and I feel like it works better if it's not a glued down sheet of paper, because if everything is a glued down sheet of paper, then I could also print a whole journal, I feel like. So I don't know, I just want to have everything be one smooth surface, the written down line, and not have that printed in a way. That's why I always take the time and the patience to set up those spreads with just a bunch of writing and writing and writing. So I might leave you to some music for now, and I promise, to the magic of editing, you don't have to see all the, I don't know, 4 hours of writing down every single date of the upcoming new year that there was, because there is some fun coming. I would absolutely love if that would function in real life, just putting in the pen into the book and have everything set up. But also, I kind of like the process of doing it myself in a way. But it also would be so practical to just have an idea in mind, visualize it, close the journal, open the journal again, and it's in there. Oh my god. Then I had so much crazy ideas. But it's fine for now. We just stick with this process. Just one little detail I always like to make sure of is that those kind of half-year spreads look a bit similar. If you have like 1 year and the next year side by side in a few pages, like right after another, I always do take different kind of colors for the Sunday part for 1 year and the other. So here we do for 2026 use this super beautiful dark burgundy kind of wine red color, and for the 2027 spreads later down the line I will use the more tan golden color to have a very, very clear separation visual if I am in the 1 year or the other. Because I did a few years back made the mistakes and did all of them in my accent color that I had going on throughout the setup, and then I always had mixed up some of the dates and appointments in the wrong year and so on, and it got a complete mess throughout the year. So that's why I always make sure now that the upcoming year and the year after that get a different color in this setup. Just something to keep in mind if you want to copy those kind of half-year spreads. For everything else, I feel like that's the right amount of space to have enough space for each day. What's your favorite layout for your year's calendar? What is your go-to bullet journal layout for those kind of spreads? I would absolutely love to hear your opinions in the comments down below. Let's start a little bullet journal discussion, I guess. And here's where the magic happens. Oh my god, it would be so nice if that actually would work. Here you can see another little cover-up of a mistake I made. Did write the 6 from 2026 too soon, but it's such an easy fix. So I just wanted to leave it in to encourage everyone to don't be intimidated by the beautiful, perfect looking, I don't know if you heard the air quotes I was making in the air while saying that, bullet journal spreads you see on the internet. They don't have to be perfect, and they aren't in a way. They are perfect the way they are, but it's fine if there is a mistake or something you had to fix, and that's why you have washi tape and book pages and other things to glue in to the journal. Or maybe you have already seen me do in this setup twice, just take a bit of paper from the back of the journal and glue that down on top if you just want to cover it up and don't make it any part of the decoration. I'm really interested to see how much of my trackers I will be able to fill up throughout the upcoming year, and I definitely want to start getting back into the habit of opening my bullet journal daily, because that's something I did really fall off the last few years. I didn't use my bullet journal as much, and I feel like I can really notice it in my day-to-day life and also in the mental chaos in my head. So I'm really excited to get back into a daily habit of using my bullet journal and using it to unload all the mental to-dos and things to remember and stuff to track and all those things that I'm keeping track in my head or somewhere in this or that app on my phone. I want to get it back into the physical form in my bullet journal for the new year. So here it is. We're finally there. It's completed. Thanks so much if you watched until here. I'm really happy to spend some time with all of you setting up my bullet journal for 2025, and I'm really excited to dive into those pages and start using them in the new year. It might be a bit early for well wishes for 2026, but I feel like we can all use it and hope hopefully have a more relaxed and peaceful 2026. So no matter when you watch it, I wish you all the best for the upcoming new year. But for now, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, a thumbs up would make me really happy. And if you want to join me on this creative adventure and many more to come, hit the subscribe button down below. See you very soon.